Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would share a very small haul. So I've been away from my house for about 6 weeks. I was staying with my mom and I did go to the thrift store a couple of times, but actually probably more like half of this was actually given to me, which is kind of cool. But anyway, I'll just get started. Oh, there's this little blanket there, but I like took it down because it looked ugly when I was filming, but I feel bad. Alright. So, the first thing I got was, I collect salt and pepper shakers. I'm sure some of you know that by now. But I thought this one was adorable. It's like a replica of like I forget the brand, but it's like a milkshake machine that's the same color. So I thought it was really cute. I highly doubt it's actually like a vintage shaker, but I just thought it was cute. It fits with my aesthetic. Usually I got this at Value Village. It was $4, but usually they're like together, but there was no pair for this one. So I got it for $2. And then this is something I've been wanting for such a long time. I used to have one a really long time ago, like when I was in high school, but it's very like 70s kind of, but it's like a photo cube. That was $2. And then I was really excited to find this. It didn't have the lid, unfortunately, but it's the like Pyrex juice jug. I think it's usually like a plastic yellow piece that goes there. That was at Value Village as well for $6. And then I was really excited to find these, but I found two of the restaurant wear Pyrex, which I was super excited to find. I didn't know that they were Pyrex, but as soon as I saw them, I knew they were restaurant wear because I used to well, I worked in many restaurants, but I used to be a waitress at like a 50s diner when I was in my early 20s. So we actually had ones just like that. They weren't Pyrex, but pretty cool. And then lastly, I got this, which I have a couple more pieces. It's a planter that are pretty similar to it. So he needs a really good cleaning. It's really gross, but it was only $1 at like it's a thrift store for animals. So yeah, I got that because I thought that would match the other pieces I had. So now on to the things that were given to me. So like I said, I was staying at my mom's house. So I cleaned out her, if you follow me like on Instagram, I post on my Instagram stories all the time. So you've probably seen some of this stuff if you follow me there. But I cleaned out her like cupboards for her because I'm a clean freak and I like organized them all. But while I was cleaning them out, I found this mug that I actually made when I was a kid, which is so crazy that she still had it. But she told me that I could have it, so it's kind of cool. So I'm definitely going to put that up somewhere once I get moved. And then while I was cleaning out her cupboards as well, which this blows my mind, she was telling me about how she has her grandmother's mixing bowl from her mixer. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. So it would be my great-grandmother's, who I never met or I don't remember. I actually do, like, I had a relationship with like two different great-grandparents, like up until like I was a teenager, so, which is kind of cool. So I was in her cupboard looking around and I find this bowl, which I think, oh, this must be it. But I was like, that looks like a Pyrex primary. So I like flipped it over and I was like, what? So I'm like yelling to my mom and she's saying like, what? And so I walk into her room with this and I was like, Mom, this is a Pyrex primary. So I'm thinking that it's the bowl she's talking about though. Like, oh, she must be like mistaking. And she's like, oh, I picked that up at a flea market or a yard sale for 50 cents. I'm like, Mom, what? She's like, yeah. So she said I could have it since I was so excited about it, which is really cool. I did find the actual mixing bowl. which is really cool. It's actually from a General Electric mixer, I believe, because I looked it up because I was really excited about it. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, so I had that. And then she started talking about how my grandma probably had some Pyrex too, because I looked it up and I showed her like what it was, like the set and stuff. So then I went to my grandma's house and she did have one of them. I believe this is part of, I think this might be the smallest one, which she said I could have, which I can't make out the, anyway, it's very well used, like you can see it's, but it makes me love it more because she actually like still uses it, but she said I could have it anyway. I think what she said she uses it for is she puts like water in it and puts it in the oven when she's making a cake or like a certain type of cake. I don't know. I've never done that before, but she was like, yeah, you can have it. I'll just use something else, which I don't know. So it is very well used, but it makes me like love it more because yeah, anyway, it's really, really thick too. Like it's thicker than this one. So I'm thinking they're like different times. I don't see like a number on this one either. So I don't know. She said that she had this before she ever had any kids. And I think my uncle was born in like 54 or 55. So it's definitely like from the early 50s, which is cool. Then she also gave me this red Pyrex Friggy. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the lids anymore, but she also said she had this when she first got married. This one also like doesn't have a number or anything on it. It just says made in Canada. So it's kind of neat. But I don't know, it's just really cool because it was like hers, and also it's like not in the greatest of shape, but it's like well used, and it was well used by my grandma, so it's very cool. And then she just gave me this other bowl too that she had. She thinks that she has more too. She just sold her house fairly recently, and she moved into another house, so she has a lot of stuff that's like packed up. So yeah, but anyway, I'm just really excited. A lot just because like it came from my grandma, so it has like sentimental value aside from just being Pyrex, which I pretty much like always buy Pyrex when I see it. That's like reasonably priced, I should say, just because, even if it's like not the pattern that I'm collecting or anything. But anyway, and the last thing I got was, this was actually mine when I was a kid, and my grandma had it at her house. And my grandma kept telling my mom that she had this book that was mine when I was a kid that had a CD with it. And this is what my mom was telling me, and I was like, there's no way that would have been mine. Like, CDs didn't exist when I was a kid, so like that can't be mine. It must be like somebody else's. But she's like, oh, I have a book for you, like after me hearing about it forever. So she went down and got this book, and it turns out that it's actually a record that came with it. So I remember like kids I used to babysit and stuff had books with like tapes, because it was like before kind of CDs were really popular, but I guess they had ones with records before that. So I'm gonna say I was probably really young when I got this. Not really sure, but ironically I actually collect these like Disneyland records. Like I have a whole bunch. Maybe I'll do a video on those sometime. But I don't know, so it was kind of cool, and it was cool that it was like mine when I was a kid. It's just really weird when I think about the fact that this book was in my grandma's house for probably 30 years, and like all the time, because I used to spend a lot of time at my grandma's house. Just like, I don't know, it's just weird thinking about it. But yeah, anyway, the next time I go down to visit, 'cause she has a bunch of stuff in her basement that's all boxed up. She wants me to help her go through it, so I might end up with some more treasures, maybe, because she said that she does have more of those, or she did have them, but she couldn't find them when I was there, so I told her not to worry about it. So yeah, anyway, it's just a quick little haul, but thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.
You think you've flown before, but baby, you ain't left the ground. Just wait till you're locked in my embrace. Wait till I